This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Okay, so we're going to get right back into this Diddy trial. Today is supposed to be a harsh day because they're going to be cross-examining Mia today. That is Diddy's assistant that he apparently took advantage of, assaulted. He made her feel like Diddy had a way of like manipulating people's minds where like, if you go against me, it's over for you. You don't have a life after this. All right, so the Diddy said that. So we're about a couple hours in. We'll go for the first half of the day, and then, of course, at the end of the day, we'll wrap it up. All right, so before the jury's brought in, the judge says, what's the issue with the charts? Combs' lawyer says, we object to the column entitled Escort, judge meaning title. It says, they're connecting up to stay with the hotel, with the escorts, and travel to the city. We don't know if the escort traveled to New York, that they actually went to the Londoner hotel. The government says, we discussed, and then they get cut off. The government can make an argument that an inference can be made. I think that's fair. Like, you don't know if the escort flew themselves in somewhere, you know? Like, they would need to provide plane tickets of Diddy flying these people in, right? They're just trying to link that, so now it's trafficking. See, this is why he's cooked. They're gonna. It's like this is worse than it's Weinstein on steroids. You know. I'm not saying these guys are innocent, but it's just like they paint it as something else, dress it up as something else, so they can, you know, dress it up for what it is. The person's a monster already. You know, it's like you don't have to add extra sauce on it. But anyways, so then they says, Comey, okay, the title's out. So they get that out. All right. So then now we have records. Go to room so-and-so at the hotel. Can we remove the header? We will show that the escort was going to the hotel. Where was the reservation under the name of Frank Black? And this one, it's escort Jules Theodore. Combs' lawyer says, we'll take what the court gives us. Judge says, anything else on summary exhibits? We're running into jury's time. Let's get it started. Can we have Mia back? The witness enters. Okay, so judge says, Miss Smizer, you can proceed. So the government starts off with Mia. They says, did you call the other employee's family? Yes, I was surrounded by them, and everyone referred to each other that way. You dated an employee? Yes, Matt, the sound engineer. Were you and Matt able to hang out together normally? No. We had an apartment together in New York, but we were rarely there at the same time. Why would you go to South Africa? Puff told me to accompany Cassie. She was shooting a movie. What happened there? Cass had caught Puff cheating on her with Gina. She was devastated. What were her interactions with Mr. Combs? They were on the phone. He is in Miami. Then he stopped answering the calls. Government, I'll read the blue messages. KK, Miss Coram. And you read the gray. That's you. She wrote, PD wants to talk to you. Who's that? That's Puff. Okay, she just says that's Puff. Audio call not completed, government says. I wasn't answering the calls, but I spoke with Puff, and he threatened to kill me. Jeez, okay. Government says, what else did he threaten you with? He said he was firing me. He says I had to leave and fly back, and he threatened to kill me. Government says, Miss Coram wrote, I need to talk to her. Not sure what to do. He needs you to call him now, or you don't have a job. Government says, how did it make you feel? Mia says, desperate, terrified, and really sad. Government says, did you answer KK's calls? She says, no. I texted back that I had been asleep. It sucks to wake up to this every morning. I'm being, like, pooped on from all sides. I'm in a messed up spot. Government says, and what was KK answer? She wrote, can you call me when you get a chance? I wrote, I'm having anxiety attacks and night fears. About who? She said, Puff. Who are what's these WhatsApp calls with? Puff. I screenshot them. I have other phone since, and then it cuts off. What did Mr. Combs write? If you don't call me in 2 minutes, I'm going to tell everything. You're fired. FABC and their lawyers. Let's go to war. What? Okay. What do you think he meant by like tell everything? He tell Cassie about the sexual assault that they had. So like almost that they like in Diddy's mind, he was just, having some casual sex with his assistant, right? Oh gosh. Diddy's take that has a whole new meaning. A whole new meaning at this point. What did Mr. Combs write? Okay, so then it says, what do you think he meant by FABC? I had written a show based on my life as an assistant. It hit the press. The most I ever got. He was threatening to take that away. Did the show ever air? No, of course not. What did he write now? Diddy does not want to empower anybody that knows too much about him. Mia, call me now. Call me now. Now. Don't ever call me again. Then it says, don't ever call me again. I wrote back that I'd been asleep. Government says, is that the end of the screenshots? Yes. Government, what's this? My email to Puff, then to KK. Government says, what did you write? I'm really sorry, Puff. You know I love you. Smiley face. I paid my own flight. It will cost to change it. I'm sorry to ask for the money. I'm sorry. I want to make sure you are good. At the end of the day, regardless, I love you. Why did you send this? The government asked. He told me to return. Then he told me to stay. I couldn't afford the change fees. I told him CC says she really need me right now, but of course I'll do whatever you want me to. I love you. It's so weird how these people work for Puff. They're saying they love him and everything. You work for him. He pays you $50,000 to $80,000 a year. Okay, come on. He's not making you a millionaire. He's not changing your life. Always remember that when you work for these big guys, they're not really empowering you. It's very rare someone gets empowered and brought up. What did you write? Why did you write that? Because I work for him, and that's all that mattered. Why did you CC Miss Coram? Because I needed an answer. I was in limbo. When did you get back? When you got back from South Africa, where did you work? The office in LA. Did you have less access to Mr. Combs? Much less. Didn't it make your job easier or harder? It made it almost impossible. I needed an okay for everything, but I couldn't get any responses from him. How did it make you feel? Defeated. What is this? A note from HR to me. What is the date? March 31st, 2011. Judge, Miss Semizer, can we take the document down? I think it needs to be further redaction. Government, what is happening? I was suspended without pay. Government, what happened? He came in and he didn't have all the options. He didn't have all his options out. He started ranting. I tried to point to other options. Who was this with? James Cruz. Oh, here's James Cruz again. He worked for Puff in like a managerial role. He asked for tickets. Yo, I hope James Cruz takes the stand. That'll be great. Mia, that's the one that Diddy hate. 50 Cent hates James Cruz. With a passion. He used to work for Chris Lighty at Violator. I wrote back, Puff is currently firing me right now. He wrote back, ha ha ha. I wrote back, no, seriously, sad face. What is this? Email to D-Rock, March 25th, 2011. D-Rock asked, what happened? I wrote, he went bat crazy about his shirt. Government says, where was Puff? With D-Rock, going to the doctor and some other errands. I asked D-Rock to give me a heads up before they come back so I could be out of the way. What did HR tell you? Puff wanted me suspended without pay. Government says, Mia, does this memo document the reasons you were suspended? No, HR told me Puff said I was being insubordinate. The government then asked, did you get other documents like this from HR? Yes. How did it make you feel? So sad, like I did something wrong. Did you continue to work for Mr. Combs? Yes. Did you feel you could leave your job? That wasn't even a thought. I tried to run away before, but that didn't work. Government, did you feel like you could get other jobs? Oh, no. He would have made sure I would have never got another job. I was scared of him. Government, when you tried to run away from your job? Was it New Year's, 2010 to 2011? Where were you? She said, I was in St. Bart's. Who was there? Puff, Kim, the kids, and others. Government, where did you stay? She said, a yacht that Puff chartered. Government, what did Mr. Combs ask you to do? To count the money in the safe. He yelled I was counting too slow. He chased me out and told me, you better learn to walk on water like Jesus. Government says, see, Diddy's not a God-fearing man. This man answers to the devil, bro. I'm telling you. Did the crew take you to land on a tender boat? Yes. But then they got a call I had to come back. Were you able to leave the country? No, my passport was on the boat. Puff staff had it. My gosh. Did you get back to the boat? Yes. I was told to get in the car and go to the plane to Vegas with Puff. In the car, you could hear Puff's call. The government asked that. Yes, I heard his call. He was talking to the chief of staff. I needed to be suspended, making up a story. I didn't get to finish. He yelled, shut the F up. Government says you left Mr. Combs' company in 2017. Yes. I spoke with Brian Offutt. We were editing the Bad Boy documentary. I was producing that. Government, what did Brian tell me? Tell you. Tell you. They mean to tell you. That Mr. Combs wanted to end Revolt Films. The company was going away. The company was making no money. I'm going to tell you, that company took a loss or broke even every year. Puff never was able to make that into a viable company. And that just shows you that without MTV, Diddy can't do TV. Without MTV, Diddy's not smart enough to do TV, okay? He's not. It's hard. It's hard to run a whole network. It's hard. It's almost impossible. He wasn't even developing shows. Nothing. All right, so I had a little bit of time horrifically to process what happens. KK said, you're still working on that documentary. Did you? Yes, until March or April. Government, what did you do after it? I cried myself to sleep, ignored all the calls. Did you have a conversation with Cassie after? Mia says, I could never tell who was with or without Puff, so I didn't respond. Mia, KK said Puff, I couldn't believe I would go against him. I'd gotten an employment opportunity, an employment attorney. KK said Puff couldn't believe it. Did you get paid? After 9 months, my attorney proposed a mediation. They asked for like $10 million. Who came up with that figure? My lawyers. Did you bring up violent incidents? A few of them. I feel that I was doing something horrible. I was like breaking the idea of confidentially telling secrets. I felt wrong and shameful. Did you bring up the sexual assaults? Oh no, I was going to die with that. How much did you receive? $200,000. My lawyers got that much too. So $400,000 basically. 50. When you take on a lawyer like that, they want 50%. All right. What was it for? Bonuses I hadn't been paid for and out of pocket. See, she's dumb. She should have. I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but she should have brought up the assaults. She would have gotten millions, and she deserved it. She deserved to get millions. I hope she goes back and tries to get more. Would you return the money to have this never happened? Brian Steele says objection overruled. Oh, absolutely. Do you have any other lawsuits against Combs? No, she should. Did you contact Mr. Combs again? Yes, when Kim died and Andre Harrell died. Did you tell him that you loved him in these messages? Yes, that's how I would speak to him. Are you aware of Cassie's lawsuit? Yes, November 2023. Have you spoken with Cassie since the suit? Yes, we talked a lot then. We both hide from our phones and the depression thing. Then a few days ago, just personal stuff like I love yous. Government, did you... Yeah, she wants to make sure this goes through. This is like the ultimate revenge for Cassie. Oh, you're not going to make me a wife? You're going to throw me away like garbage? She gets her money. And Diddy goes to jail. After the suit in 2023, did anyone contact you? Yes, D-Rock. He was like my big brother. He said, how are you? What did you respond? D-Rock. Why the explanation points? Because I love explanation points. And D-Rock. D-Rock lets you get... you love him, but these people weren't saving you. They would hear you out, but you're still getting abused. Like, what do you... These people aren't helping you. I understood our doc was no longer with... Oh, D-Rock. Sorry. D-Rock was no longer with Puff. He and his wife had a restaurant in the Poconos. He wrote, I'm about to call you. What date? November 30th, 2023. Did D-Rock call you? Yes. What happened on that call? Then they object. Ask again. What did he say? Overruled. He started with personal stuff. Then he says, the news is crazy. It wasn't like that. It was normal fighting. Was it? Absolutely not. D-Rock said Puff misses you. He implied everyone agreed. But I thought Puff didn't want it anyways. I immediately thought, oh my God. Objection. Grounds. Non-responsive. Sidebar. They sue a sidebar. They're back. What did D-Rock say he was? Where did D-Rock say he was? And then Mia says that he had landed in Miami. He was going to be at Puff's. He was going to take care of Christian. D-Rock said, maybe you could say something. How did you respond? I pretended I'd talk to Puff. Did you want to? No. I was scared of him. He might... he called me right after D-Rock. How did you react? I threw my phone behind a couch and ran. Why? It was triggering. Did you hear from D-Rock again? Yes. What did D-Rock write? That your boy doesn't want to do anything. Just talk. I didn't want to. I just wanted to go away. Yeah, of course. Of course he wanted to go away because there's a lawsuit looming. Diddy was trying to tie up some loose ends, maybe, you know? And Diddy's nasty, bro. See, people with too much power like this are dangerous. So then she said, I knew he wouldn't stop, so I wrote back. I was scuba diving all day and didn't have my phone on the boat. Was that true? No, I told D-Rock I called Puff, but there was no answer. I wanted to play neutral. D-Rock asked, how can I send you something? What did you think he meant? The government asked. Money. I said, nah. I'm always ready to help y'all out. He wrote, I'm not allowed to send my sister a gift. He wrote, I'm allowed to send my sister a gift. Mia says, no. What do you think D-Rock was trying to do? Find out for Puff if I was a threat. Exactly. Did Mr. Combs text you in February of 2024? Yes, he said, call me when you have 10 minutes. Love. And this one in February 7th, 2024. She should have called and recorded it. He says, I need my memory jogged. And he said, I need my memory jogged. Did you respond? No. I didn't want anything to do with him. He was the person I was traumatized by. I knew that this was a front. What was the last message? I think so. I got some. Objection. Sustained. Do you work now? No, I suffer from complex PTSD. Sidebar. What are your symptoms? Misinterpreting emails. Someone calls my name from across the room. All feelings getting in trouble came flooding back. I triple guessed myself. Who caused this? Diddy. Break. I'm going to tell you something, man. Diddy owes this girl $5 million. This girl would have... So, see how there's like hundreds of girls going against Diddy with that lawyer down in Texas or whatever. I'm telling you, this girl could get another $5 million out of Puff after this case. This is certain people will be able to get. There's going to be, I guarantee there's going to be a class action lawsuit with all the people who work for Puff after this, and it's going to drain him of $50 to $100 million. Diddy is going to lose so much money after this case. It's going to be crazy. Everyone's talking about the government's using his money. That's not going to have to happen. This case is going to prove so much stuff that he's just going to have to settle with everybody. Because, you know what? It will cost him so much money to fight it, and it might delay. Hopefully all these kids of his have trust set up, because, honestly, his money's gone. Combs Steele making... Okay, so here we go. The judge comes in, cross-examination starts. So here we go. This is Brian Steele doing the cross-examination of Mia. Brian Steele says, they all rise, cross-examination. Combs Steele, because of Sean Combs, you suffer for a great deal, right? Mia says, right. Just seeing him call your number made you throw your phone, true? Yes. Steele, he made you do things that are unthinkable. Yes. Diddy's lawyer Steele says, making you sleep in a room with a lock and coming in and violating you in the most unthinkable way. True? Mia says, true. You said that Sean Combs' conduct was the worst thing that ever happened to you, right? Yes. Look at the notebooks, Brian Steele says. I move for admission of 1702 and 1710. The government says, these are under seal. Brian Steele says, whatever the court says, we have redacted the versions. Mia, this is a social media post by you in 2013. Mia says, yes. Brian Steele says, it's your personal account. This is what you're doing? Mia says, yes, my personal account. Brian Steele says, you wrote, this is what we do when you're not around. And Diddy Ciroc, right? Mia says, right. Brian Steele says, you tagged him years after you say he hard R-word you. Yes. This is July 4th, 2013. Whose hands are those? Cass and me. He's showing pictures. Brian Steele says, you wrote rich as F and CC. Who is CC? Cass. What does CC stand for? It's just a nickname. You know all these people that like put up messages because they're hanging out with Jay-Z and they're like, rich as F. Most of these people were broke working for this person. I'm telling you. Like, have you heard Cassie Combs? Oh, that makes sense. Here you what's he say? Here you say he got coffee for you though. Forbes list? Yes. Here you say he got coffee for you though in Forbes list. Okay. Then Brian Steele says, you say he made you take drugs against your will at Burning Man, but you post about it? Mia says, right. Steele says, you posted a picture with him, a man terrorizing you. Yes, Mia says. Brian Steele says, and the video depicting Mr. Combs as a doctor delivering your baby? Mia, it was a funny video. I was proud to be in it. Brian Steele says, Mr. Combs' birthday is significant to you. You did 2 shots with him, right? Mia says, yes. Alcohol overcame you, right? Mia says, yes. You believe you were drugged? Mia says, I didn't say that. Brian Steele says, a person you really don't know put his mouth on your mouth without your permission, right? Mia says, yes. Brian Steele says, his hands up your dress and onto your personal. Remember that? It was paralyzing. Mia says, yes. Brian Steele says, you woke up in a chair. You told the jury that. Mia says, I did. Brian Steele says, but this message and this one, another same day posting the anniversary of you being sexually assaulted by Sean Combs, according to your testimony. Mia, I don't celebrate it as an anniversary of that, but it's a birthday. And then Brian Steele says, what did you write? Mia says, thank you for giving me an extended family for life. You're effing funny. I love you. Brian Steele says, you're in a tutu next to Mr. Combs, right? Mia says, yes. He's holding his private part in his hand. I guess so, Mia says. And then it says, you are proud of Mr. Combs. Of course. You'd post the great times. You wrote extended family for life, Brian Steele says. You are forever one of my greatest fans. This about the man who traumatized you. Mia says, yes, I wrote that. Combs Steele says, who was your mentor and your brother you were writing about? Mia says, Puff. Steele says, you did a colleague, a lot of them. Are you and Mr. Combs, you pick up out thumbnails, right? Yes. Huh? What did you write? I think the person wrote that wrong in the transcript. Mia, who let me have hair like that? Then Brian Steele says, you are with Mr. Combs, right? Mia says, yes. Brian Steele says, here you say, look, ma, I'm in a billboard, Times Square, right? Mia says, it's a play on my name is Lights. My name is in Lights. Steele, in this photo, me and Cass going to Istanbul. Steele Combs. Did Mr. Combs have to approve both of you going on that trip? Mia says, absolutely. Steele, this photo. We are in a Sprinter van on the way to Cass club appearance. Where are you in this one? The W Hotel in Istanbul. Combs Steele, what did you write here? About Muhammad Ali's birthday with Puff. I took the photo. You took one photo, Brian Steele says? I'm sure I took multiple, but this is the one I posted. I like this one. Brian Steele says, this is November 4th, 5 years after you were sexually assaulted. Yes. Brian Steele says, what did you write? Thank you for being my friend. Hashtag happy birthday, Diddy. Hashtag I'm so hot. Throwing panties on myself. And you have Mr. Combs shirtless in 2 pictures. Mia says he's always shirtless. Combs Steele, you have said that you were sexually assaulted so many times that you can't remember. The government says objection. Misstates the testimony. Sustained. Have you met with the prosecutors? Brian Steele says yes. More than 27 times? Mia says, I don't know the number. Do you remember telling you don't remember how many times you were sexually assaulted? Mia says, I don't know if I phrased it that way. Steele says, this has ruined you, right? You are broken, yes? Mia says, the sexual abuse was part of the way he ruined me, yes. Combs Steele, you wrote, thank you for being a good kind of crazy, inspiring me every day. Mia says, I don't think people wrote bad stuff about their life on Instagram back then. Why do you promote it, though? She says, it was my job to promote. You know, these people, Diddy just surrounded himself. Like, I think part of having to work for Diddy is you have to be, like, mentally unstable. I think that's just part of, like, he looks for that. Like, give them a mental test. Anyone that's mentally unstable, put them in this pile. This is the good pile. The people that have too much of a head on their shoulders, nada. I don't want them. When he was calling, Mia said, when he was calling me his best friend, I wasn't afraid of him. Then Combs Steele, you weren't afraid of a man that stole your innocence? Then they object, overruled. Brian Steele says, you have family? Mia says, parents, a sister. Brian Steele says, and friends? Time frame. Combs Steele says, when you posted this, you still had a friend? And then Mia said, I had no sounding board. I had to get permission to go to my grandfather's funeral. Brian Steele says, the jury was emailed. The jury was the jury was an email with D-Rock. You could express yourself, right? I reached out to him. She was reaching out to, like, That's like telling Diddy himself. D-Rock was going to repeat everything. Comb Steele, what is this? Mia says, my friend's Funny or Die. I'm in the video. Steele, what did you write? Mia says, you know you're a celebrity when you're spraying champagne at Funny or Die. Steele, what is this? My birthday post for Justin, Puff's son. Comb Steele, and this one? Mia, Ciroc promo, ##. Steele, you are in it with Mr. Combs? Mia, yes. Steele, do you ever say anything that Mr. Combs violated you? Never. Here? Mia, Puff and Jimmy Iovine, legends. Steele, he traumatized you? Yes. Comb Steele, you wrote, watch Puff tonight on Fuse today. I convinced him to make a door on the TV set. Wait, I convinced him to make a door on the TV set and call it the Diddy door. These people are cheesy, bro. What? This is Steele. You post a picture of a person who's ruined your life? Mia, and my boss. Steele, who made you post this? Mia, no one. Brian Steele's a savage, bro. Brian Steele says, how do you forget about waking up with a man on top of you and having his way with you? Mia says, I was in fear of upsetting him. The moments other than we were best friends. Steele, how are you best friends with a man that hard R-word you? Mia, ask my therapist. Comb Steele, what did you write? Mia, F off Patron with a photo of Puff dancing with his tequila. Steele, in this photo, Mr. Combs is close to you. Mia says, yes. You are producing the show. Mia says, Funny or Die did, but I was getting producer credits. Government says, can we get a sidebar? Judge says, we'll give the jurors their lunch break and we can hash it out. All rise, and they exit. Judge says, the government says, the witness is not let's see. The witness is not going to bring witness. Let's see. This person wrote this wrong. Okay. It's not burden to bring forth evidence to support her claims. It's our burden. And the judge says, Mr. Steele, you'll have to ask, like, does she have texts or emails or something she'd have knowledge of? Steele says, understood. And then they break. All right. So then we'll get back to this because we'll get back to the second half. Well, Brian Steele is establishing basically that, like, were you traumatized? Were you? Or are you just upset that you got fired? That's basically, he's painting it as, like, who would hang out with their abuser like this? Nobody. So they're painting her out to be, like, looking for money or something. I don't know. They're painting her out to, like, not be credible. Like, be more like, oh, she's angry and that's why she's doing this. He's doing a good job of that. I'm gonna be honest. Like, but like, I don't think these people are mentally stable that are around Puff. I think Puff preys on people. Some people are good at just knowing people that are, like, low self-esteem and, like, they can take advantage of. I think Puffy had that. Anyways. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. At the end of the day, Diddy is a monster. We know that. Peace.